What are my credentials? I'm awesome. I'm hilarious. I'm well read. Very curious. I think curiosity is a lost art. And here's how I know it's a lost art. As I'm going through some of this stuff, a lot of you guys will email me and I get your hostile emails. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Baron. That was so stupid. How could you be such an idiot? Here's a single article easily disproving everything you said from minute 13 to minute 19. Okay, great. Data point. It got you thinking. I'm not saying I'm here to solve the Kirk case. I don't see any magnifying glasses. I don't have one of those. Well, actually, I do have a hat up there that I guess could be one of those detective hats. I could put my detective ID in. I don't have one of those. I'm just a backbeat country lawyer with a very curious mind. And I get on something and I will not give up on it. I become like a PhD in the topic. That is my credential. Curiosity. It is a lost art. Most of you guys that email me complaining don't have it. Don't have it. I'll give you an idea. If you believe Tyler James Robinson learned about the Charlie Kirk event a week before it happened when they announced it, decided in the moment, because he had to do it quickly, decided in the moment, you know what, I should take this guy out. And in 1 week from learning that Charlie Kirk will be in the state of Utah, and not even close, it's like 4 hours away from his house. Not like he was next door. It's not like he was showing up in the treehouse in Tyler Robinson's backyard where the furries gathered. That's not where he was. He was on a college campus hours away. If you believe he heard about it, I don't even know how he would hear about it. Is he on the TPUSA website every day? Wonder where Charlie Kirk's going to be. Wonder where Charlie Kirk's going to be. Wonder where Charlie Kirk's going to be. I'll give you an idea. This website hadn't been updated in 3 months. How do I know that? I went to archive.org. I looked at it. You go to archive.org. You can look at the website. You would have to believe that Tyler James Robinson is so keyed in on Charlie Kirk that he's like hitting F5 every day, waiting on that website to get refreshed, waiting on it to get updated. And then when it finally gets updated, he scans and he goes, oh my gosh, he's going to be near me next week. I better get Grandpappy's rifle and get tightened up. I got to get it zeroed in, right? How did he know it was even zeroed in? Has anyone told us where he zeroed the rifle in and what date he did it? And what distance he did it for? Because at that point, he doesn't even know where Charlie Kirk's going to be at UVU. He just knows he's going to be there. I looked at the invitation. It didn't say the particular location where he was going to be when it was first announced. You would have had to sign up and get the tickets. Did he sign up and get the tickets? That would be an easy question for the feds or the Utah State Police to answer, or the Washington County or Utah County Sheriff. Has anyone answered how he knew where he was going to be in particular? Or did he just show up that day with Grandpappy's 30-06 wandering around going, Charlie? Because that's ludicrous. But you would have to believe he learns about it somehow, even though he hangs out with furries and plays Magic the Gathering, not exactly Charlie's set. Those are typically not the people you're going to find at a Charlie Kirk rally. I venture to say he's the first ever person who hangs out with furries and plays Magic the Gathering on a regular basis who's ever attended a Charlie Kirk rally, if he was even there. You would have to believe he learned of the rally somehow figured out where it was going to be, got access to Granddaddy's rifle, zeroed it in at some distance where he knows how accurate it is. Is it zeroed at 50, 100, 200, 300, 500? What was he shooting? I used to shoot a 22-250 that was zeroed at 400 yards. Why? Because we went groundhog hunting in Pennsylvania. And that's about how far away they are. And if you shot them closer than that, you would have to account for it. And you account for it differently. It's not always just linear. And if they were farther away, you'd have to account for that. And again, differently, it's not linear. And this is what I'm saying. Like, the story starts to break down when you actually think about it. Not only that, he has to figure out where will he be able to take a shot? Where would he find an unguarded location? I would think if I'm showing up at a Charlie Kirk event, most of the witnesses that have been interviewed, if you listen to them carefully, they all say the same thing. They were shocked at how little security there was. James Robinson wasn't, apparently. If you believe the official narrative, he wasn't shocked at all. Apparently, he didn't expect there to be security. He knew he could get on a roof, lie there safely, and go unnoticed, get a shot off, and escape. Either that or he was on a suicide mission. Those are your only two options. You'd also have to know which roof to get on and that it would have a clean line of sight to the stage. You'd have to know how high Charlie was going to be. And you'd have to know that Charlie was actually sitting higher than he usually is, probably to account for the bowl effect. But if you go look at other tour stops, Charlie Kirk actually usually sat much lower, ground level. His chair would be on the ground level, similar to how my chair is now, with my desk right here. No, but not Tyler James Robinson. He somehow knew that Charlie would be elevated, be in that area, that he could climb. Remember, he supposedly only got into position about 30 seconds before he took the shot. This is the official story. This is the official story that you've been told, that some people believe. That he learned of the event, got the rifle, somehow got it zeroed in for the correct distance, or at least knew how to make changes for the distance. Knew which buildings would be unsecured, which ones he'd have roof access on with a clean line of sight. How he could get off the building. Remember, he didn't get off the building the same way he got on the building. And to get off the building, he had to step into a vent that he just happened to know was there. He had to know where the chicken coop was. He had to know where the chicken coop was. He had to know. I mean, if you look at a map, I knew instantly where the rifle was. The moment they told me on the air that it was in a wooded area, I knew immediately where it was. Why? There's no other wooded area there. It's the only wooded area in town. It's a desert. It's the only wooded area in town. Just happens to be right off the campus. But you wouldn't know that by looking at a map, that you could get in there and be relatively unseen. You wouldn't know any of this by looking at a map. No one could look at a map and determine, oh, I know I can get on that roof. I know that'll have a clean line of sight to wherever they happen to put Charlie. It's a big campus. Maybe they put him indoors. Maybe they put him on the other side of the campus. If they put him on the other side of the Hall of Flags, you don't get a shot. If they put him out on an athletic field, you're in the wrong building. You have to know all of this. All of it. Before you go. How? I'm curious. That's my credentials. I look at this story and say, no, absolutely not. No way. End of story. That didn't happen. I don't know what happened, but I know that didn't happen. And because they try to force you to swallow this ridiculous story, like Building 7 fell in its own footprint at free fall speed without being struck by anything. And having two buildings between it and the Twin Towers and being a couple hundred yards away. Then you start thinking, oh my gosh, I know that's not true. Did they set explosives? Did they put charges? Did they have some? Were there vans there? Then your mind goes crazy. Same thing with Tyler James Robinson. All of a sudden you're like, was it an exploding mic? Did his necklace explode and shoot up and hit him in the neck? Were they faking his death and he accidentally died and now they're all looking at each other like, oh hell? Or were they faking a gunshot and he accidentally died? Now they're really looking at each other like, oh hell. I mean, you get crazy. Was he shot by a drone doing 300 miles an hour? Was somebody behind him with some sort of laser thing that reflected in Frank Turek's phone? Was there some guy squeezing something? I saw this the other day, and it looked pretty damn convincing, to be honest with you. But was there somebody squeezing a detonating device behind the scenes or some sort of remote trigger? You get all kinds of crazy conspiracy theories when you try to get me to believe that Tyler James Robinson did all of that in a week. All of it in a week. I refuse to believe it. I'm curious, Cindy Lou. That's my credential. Law school didn't make me curious. Practicing law for 20 years didn't make me curious. Working at banks didn't make me curious. Working at insurance companies didn't make me curious. None of those credentials back there made me curious. I was born curious. My mom and dad, the DNA made me curious. Some people have it, some people don't. You know who I know doesn't have it? The people who email me saying, I don't know why you're wasting your time on this. Tyler James Robinson already confessed. His DNA's on the gun and the screwdriver. We know who did it. To them, I say, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I did not intend to get that riled up. But I saw her question and I thought, Lord have mercy. What are my credentials? And here's the thing. I don't even know that she was questioning my credentials. She might have been. If she was, she just got an earful.